All right, another fun-filled week for us here at iBelieve Investments. If you don't know me, I'm the CEO and founder of iBelieve Investments. This is going to be my 19th year trading. I worked on Wall Street from 2008 until the 2022 before I opened up my own firm, solely to help individuals like yourself and people in the body of Christ. So if you're watching this, I hope you get a lot of value out of it. This week's already over. You know what moved. SMCI was the big thing today. But let's talk about what's coming up for next week and a few setups that you can take a look at that might benefit you on your investment journey. So my number one pick here, these are all going to be daily charts. My number one pick for next week and has earnings is Netflix. Obviously, the stock is trending up. It had a great support bounce here back last year on the 340 area. Covered the gap here. And so all these lines here are marking out the inflection points on the stock. And currently we're at an inflection point, and we'd like to see a nice bounce from the 477, 480 area up above the 500 area. Right now we're seeing kind of a double top on the daily, but kind of hard to have a double top in an uptrending stock. So I have a bet that we likely retest this at some point next week. And so this is one of my top picks going into next week to take a look at. Coming up next is Microsoft here. And I like the Microsoft chart here. The daily is showing a nice hold way back when at the 310 area. But my big area here has been at 365, 366 area that has held as the stock has consolidated. We had a nice little breakout at 376 area, 373. And these also gave us a nice push up, a retested at 383 and off to the races again. 400 has been the price target. If you're part of the Discord, you know this. I'm looking at 400, possibly 420 before the end of the quarter in March, as long as the market continues up. Next one, DHI, DR Horton. For those that don't know, DR Horton had a nice hold here at the 100. The inflection point on this downtrend break, obviously come here at this 103. This goes back and retest quite a bit of data here. So this comes back up, hits a 130, 130 up from here, and then we're off to the races again in 155. We are running into resistance. Rates have been down, but this is on my watch list. We had a great boost in mortgage applications over the last couple of reports. And if you guys don't know, my wife's a mortgage lender. So this one's hot on my list. Looking for a break of this 155 area and a continuation up. If this comes back down, this has to hold the 146 area, or we could see a gap breakout failure here, and this could bring the stock down back to retest at 130, which would not be ideal, but is possible. Last stock on my list for next week is Lockheed Martin. This has had a nice long consolidation period too. For those that know me, know I served in the military, so I'm very familiar with a company like this. Right now we're in this channel range, 440 to 480. Had a big ugly red candle here back on the daily last year, sometime in the middle of the year, and has yet to get back to retest the area. Has come down and failed and retest that 400 from a long time ago. Not going to show you on the daily chart, but if you pull up a monthly, you'll be able to see that 400 area. And then this massive gap up to the 430 area and then retesting the 440. This needs to hold the 440 area, obviously, or we're going to go back down, and that gap failure would come into play here. I'm looking for a continuation up with all the geopolitical risk that's going on in the world. And it seems like we're fighting a new war every day. So I would like to see Lockheed come back and retest that 477 area and continue higher and retest this all-time high around the $508 mark. So let's take a look. One last chart here. The SPX on the daily had a nice break here on the daily, a gap up as well after a big long consolidation period here last year from May all the way out till we get the consolidation break last year, right before the year ended. Then we brought up back up here in this 4,700 area. We've been chopping around here for the good part of the last 6 weeks, and then we finally get a break, and we're going to see next week if it holds. Keep in mind we have the Federal Reserve coming up at the end of the month, as well as a lot of other data. Big earnings coming out next week that we just went over the names that I want to take a look at. But the earnings sessions is really now in tune, and I got a feeling that we're going to get some market movement. I want to let you guys know these charts, regardless of the news, these charts are very, very bullish. And you've got gap up continuations here on the daily as we've been moving up. So I don't know what they're talking about out here with the economy being bad and those other things. They're not being reflected currently in stock prices. And I think this has a lot to do with something that people don't talk about, and that's the amount of money that was printed in the U.S. during the COVID era. And because of that, it's just not being translated into the system. I don't think the Fed has done enough to pull enough of the money out of the system to make this inflation problem go away. However, I do think that the consumer is stretched, and because of that, I think that they've done enough for now. Three big things I'm looking forward to is China, number one, and the effects it's going to have on inflation, because right now they look horrible. I don't know about you, but I think Alibaba is trading around Campbell's soup price to earnings. And for me, that's quite disturbing. Their housing market is in extreme disarray, and they really haven't put a stimulus program together to come out the way the U.S. did. So I think the U.S. is going to continue to help China, regardless of them saying we're at war with them, to work together, the two largest economies, to help pull the Chinese economy through so that we don't go into a world recession. Anyway, that's all I have for now. Look forward, subscribe below so you can get more market updates. We're going to do more of these on TikTok and YouTube to be more consistent on social media, because people really need help out there in the markets so they can catch some of these moves. I look forward to talking to you next time. And just because the markets are red doesn't mean your account can't be green. Talk to you next time.